What if I told you the reason you forget everything isn't your memory, it's your mindset? And the Japanese figured it out decades ago. You're not lazy, you're not broken. You've just been trained by school, by media, by habits, to memorize like a machine instead of remember like a human. And Japanese students, they cracked the code. Their system doesn't just help you remember facts. It rewires how you think. It teaches you how to remember anything. Let me break it down. You ever feel like your brain's on airplane mode? You read books, you highlight everything, you reread it twice, but the next day, blank. Like your mind flushed it all overnight. It's not just frustrating, it makes you question if you're even capable. But here's the truth. You don't have a bad memory, you have bad strategies. And the Japanese education system, it's ruthless, but effective. They train students to retain, not cram. They don't rely on willpower, they rely on systems. And if you copy their system, you'll start remembering like them. Let's break it down into 4 core strategies you can start using today. Before we dive in, if you're the type of person who's tired of forgetting everything they read or watch, and you're serious about mastering your mind, hit that like button. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. We don't do fluff here, just straight up tools to build a sharper you. Now let's go deeper. Strategy number 1. The spaced repetition mindset. Japanese students don't study harder. They study smarter, with timing. They don't binge the same info all at once. They space it out, intentionally. Why? Because your brain doesn't remember what you cram. It remembers what it revisits. Here's how it works. You learn something on day 1. You revisit it on day 2, then day 4, then day 7, then day 14. Each time you're about to forget, you bring it back. This stretches the forgetting curve, and your brain flags that info as important. Apps like Anki and systems like the Lightner Box were born from this principle. But here's the kicker. You don't need fancy tools. You just need a calendar and discipline. If it matters to you, track it. Strategy number 2. Active recall greater than passive review. This one's brutal, but it works. Most people review by reading again. Japanese students, they test themselves relentlessly, not after they feel ready, immediately. This is called active recall. When you force yourself to remember something without looking at it, you're building retrieval strength. That's the difference between recognizing and recalling. One is passive, the other is powerful. So instead of highlighting your books, close them. Ask yourself, what do I remember? Then open and check, repeat. It'll feel uncomfortable, but that's the point. You grow by struggling, not by coasting. Strategy number 3, interleaved learning. Here's a secret weapon almost nobody uses, interleaving. Japanese students don't just drill the same type of math problem over and over, they mix it up. Geometry, then algebra. Word problems, then formulas. Why? Because your brain learns better when it has to distinguish between types of problems, not just repeat the same one. In life, you never face problems in categories. They come at you mixed, so you have to train in chaos. Apply this to your life. Studying a new language? Don't just review vocab. Mix listening, speaking, reading, writing. Learning business? Read case studies, analyze failures, take notes, simulate decisions. The more you switch contexts, the deeper your retention. Strategy number 4, learn it, then teach it. Japanese students are often pushed to explain what they learn to others. Why? Because when you teach, you expose what you don't really understand. It forces your brain to organize, simplify, and clarify. So here's the challenge. After you study something, explain it to your wall. Out loud, no notes, no safety net. If you can teach it, you own it. If you can't, you go back and learn it again. This is the Feynman technique, and it's brutal, but it turns knowledge into mastery. Let's zoom out. These 4 methods, spaced repetition, active recall, interleaving, and teaching, aren't just hacks. They're weapons. Mental weights you lift daily to strengthen your cognitive power. Japanese students don't use these because they're smarter. They use them because their system forces them to adapt or fall behind. You don't need that pressure. You need that standard. Now let's talk about why this matters beyond school. Memory isn't about passing exams, it's about building an edge in life. You want to stand out? Remember names, remember strategies. Remember what works and what doesn't. You want to grow fast? Remember your lessons, so you don't repeat the same mistakes. You want to win? Remember what others forget. In a world drowning in information, clarity is currency. And if your brain is cluttered, slow, and overwhelmed, it's not your brain's fault, it's how you've been using it. Let me leave you with this. You're not failing because you're undisciplined. You're failing because you're untrained. But now you know how the best do it. The system isn't secret. It's just ignored. So here's the challenge, starting tonight. Pick one thing you want to remember, a skill, a concept, a goal. Use spaced repetition. Test yourself. Mix it with other skills. Then teach it to someone or to yourself. Do this daily, and you will change how your brain works, not someday. Now, what's the one thing you're committed to remembering this week? Drop it in the comments. I want to see who's actually serious about mastering their mind, not just watching videos for dopamine. And if you're ready to go even deeper, watch this next. Rest so well, it makes you dangerous. Because remembering is one thing, but executing, that's what separates the talkers from the winners. Be honest, be consistent, be better.